Was Fatima al-Zahra, a.s. a daughter, a wife, a mother, or something much more? In Fatemeh Is Fatemeh, Shariati, one of the most influential modern Islamic thinkers, takes us beyond history and biography. He doesn't just tell us about Fatima, a.s., he makes us feel her presence, her struggle, and her legacy. This book is a passionate and poetic exploration of Fatima, a.s., as a woman, a revolutionary, and a role model for all of humanity. She is not just a historical figure, she is a timeless symbol of justice, faith, and sacrifice. Let's dive into Shariati's powerful reflections on the life and significance of Fatima, a.s. Number 1. Why Fatemeh is Fatemeh? Fatima, a.s., cannot be defined by one role or title. People often describe her as the daughter of the Prophet, PBUH, the wife of Imam Ali, a.s., or the mother of Hassan and Hussein, a.s. But Shariati argues that Fatima, a.s., is more than her relationships, she is a complete and unique individual. She is a role model for all of humanity. Her knowledge, spiritual strength, and activism make her a timeless example for both men and women. She represents resistance against oppression, devotion to God, and social justice. Key takeaway: Fatima, a.s., is not great because of the people around her, she is great because of who she is. Number 2. Fatima, a.s., as a spiritual and intellectual leader. A woman of deep knowledge and faith, Fatima, a.s., was not just a devout worshipper, she was an intellectual leader, deeply knowledgeable in theology, philosophy, and law. She delivered the famous Sermon of Fadak, defending her father's teachings with logic, eloquence, and deep Quranic understanding. Her worship and connection with God, she spent her nights in deep prayer and supplication, setting an example of true devotion. The Prophet, PBUH, referred to her as Sayyidat Nisa al-Alamin, leader of the women of the worlds. Key takeaway: Fatima, a.s., was a scholar, a spiritual leader, and a defender of truth. Her faith was her strength. Number 3. Fatima, a.s., as a revolutionary and political activist. Standing against injustice, after the Prophet's death, Fatima, a.s., spoke out against the injustice and corruption that followed. She challenged the ruling authority, defending the rights of her husband, Imam Ali, a.s., and the oppressed community. The Sermon of Fadak, a voice of resistance, Fatima, a.s., delivered a powerful speech in the Prophet's mosque, demanding the return of Fadak, land that was rightfully hers. But her speech was more than just about property, it was a call for justice, truth, and the protection of Islam's core values. She transformed suffering into strength. Despite facing injustice, loss, and betrayal, she never compromised on truth. Her patience and sacrifice became an eternal lesson in standing for what is right. Key takeaway: Fatima, a.s., was not just a passive figure, she was a revolutionary who stood against oppression, even at great personal cost. Number 4. Fatima, a.s., as a role model for women and society. Redefining womanhood, Fatima, a.s., was a leader, an activist, a scholar, and a mother, proving that women can play multiple roles in society. She balanced spirituality, knowledge, and family responsibilities, showing that Islamic womanhood is about strength, not limitation. Beyond traditional expectations, she engaged in public discussions, fought for justice, and shaped the intellectual and spiritual future of the Ummah. Unlike the Western feminist model, which often rejects traditional roles, Fatima, a.s., embraces both family and activism. An inspiration for all generations, her life teaches that women do not have to choose between faith and empowerment, they can have both. Men and women alike can learn from her resilience, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to justice. Key takeaway: Fatima, a.s., was not just an ideal woman, she was an ideal human being. Number 5. The legacy of Fatima, a.s., why she still matters today. A timeless role model. In every era, people look for figures who stand for truth, justice, and faith. Fatima, a.s., embodies all of these. She remains a symbol of resistance for the oppressed and a beacon of hope for believers. The mother of the revolution, Fatima, a.s., raised Imam Hassan, a.s., and Imam Hussein, a.s., who became symbols of justice and sacrifice. Her teachings and example inspired the movement of Karbala and the fight against tyranny. Call to action for us. Learning about Fatima, a.s., should not just be a historical study, it should transform our thinking and actions. If we truly follow her example, we must 1. Stand for truth, even when it's difficult. 2. Uphold justice and defend the rights of the oppressed. 3. Balance faith, intellect, and action in our daily lives. Key takeaway: Fatemeh is not just a figure of the past, her message is alive for those who seek truth today. Final thoughts: why this book matters. Ali Shariati's Fatemeh is a powerful and emotional tribute to one of the most important figures in Islamic history. Fatemeh is more than her relationships, she is an independent symbol of faith and justice. She was a scholar, an activist, and a revolutionary voice against injustice. Her life redefines womanhood not as restriction, but as empowerment. Her legacy continues to inspire movements for justice and spiritual growth. What lessons from Fatemeh's life inspire you the most? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more powerful book summaries on Islamic history and spirituality. Turn on